You are inside a dream, but you do not know it yet. You are walking through a familiar street. The sky looks normal. The houses look normal. Even the sound of your own footsteps feels real. Then something strange happens. You glance at a clock, and the numbers are wrong. You blink, look again, and they've shifted. You try to read a sign on the wall, but the letters twist into shapes that make no sense. Then you look down at your hands. For some reason, they do not look right. Too many fingers, or too few, or their shape keeps changing as you stare. And then, in the middle of this dream, one impossible thought appears. Wait, am I dreaming? For a second, everything stops. The street, the sky, the strange faces around you. You are still asleep, your body still lying in bed, but inside the dream, something has woken up. This is where the dream becomes either dangerous or powerful, because if you realize you are dreaming while the dream is still happening, the rules may begin to bend. You might look at a locked door and decide what lies behind it. You might jump into the air and not come back down. You might even turn a nightmare around and face the thing that was chasing you. But here is the strange part. Most dreams never let you do this. Most of the time, no matter how impossible the dream becomes, you simply accept it. A flying car feels normal. A room changing shape feels normal. A person who should not be there feels normal. Your brain does not ask the obvious question. Yet sometimes, rarely, something breaks through. A tiny piece of awareness enters the dream. And suddenly, you are not just watching the dream anymore. You are inside it, and you know it. So, what exactly is this strange moment? How can a sleeping brain realize it is dreaming? And if the dream is not real, why can it feel more real than being awake? To understand this, we first have to look at the strange weakness of ordinary dreams. It is not the monsters, the impossible places, or the sudden falls. The real weakness is that dreams usually do not defend themselves very well. They are full of mistakes. Clocks behave erratically. Text refuses to stay still. Rooms connect to places they should never connect to. People appear without an arrival. Time skips without warning. Your own body can feel subtly wrong. If the same things happened while you were awake, you would stop immediately. You would question everything. But in a dream, the mind often accepts the broken world and keeps walking through it. That is what makes the rare moment so powerful. The dream does not become strange. It was already strange. The difference is that you finally notice. For most of the night, the dreaming mind behaves like someone watching a movie from inside the screen. There are emotions, images, sounds, fear, desire, memory. But the part that normally steps back and says, "Does this make sense?" is often quieter. So the dream can be ridiculous and still feel convincing. You can meet someone from years ago and continue the conversation as if nothing is amiss. You can walk into your childhood home and find an ocean behind the kitchen door. You can run from something without ever asking where the ground came from. The story keeps pulling you forward. Then, one small detail fails. A number changes. A sentence melts. A hand looks impossible. A mirror refuses to behave. And for the first time, the dream is caught. That is the opening. Not waking up, not escaping, just noticing. The scene may remain around you. The street may stay solid. The sky may still glow. The people may keep moving. But your relationship to the world changes. A second ago, the dream was reality. Now, it is something happening inside your mind. This is the state researchers call lucid dreaming, a dream in which the dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming while the dream is still happening. The definition is simple, but the experience is not. Because once the dream is exposed, a new question appears. If this world is being built by your own sleeping brain, can you change it? This is the part most people imagine first: flying, teleporting, opening impossible doors, turning monsters into smoke, speaking to someone who could never appear in real life. And yes, some lucid dreams can include control, but lucid dreaming and dream control are different. Lucidity means awareness. Control is extra. You can know you are dreaming and still fail to change the dream. You can try to fly and fall. You can demand a door to open and watch it stay locked. You can become lucid and wake up 5 seconds later because the excitement is too strong. The dream may be yours, but that does not mean it obeys like a machine. It behaves more like a living hallucination, built from memory, emotion, expectation, and sleep. The more you panic, the more unstable it may become. The more calmly you observe, the longer it may last. That is one reason this experience feels so unusual. It is not simply dreaming, and it is not ordinary waking. It sits between both. But how do scientists know someone is really aware inside a dream? After all, dreams happen inside the head. A person can wake up and tell a story, but researchers needed something stronger than a story. They needed a signal. The strange doorway was the eyes. During REM sleep, most of the body is deeply relaxed, but the eyes can still move. Lucid dreamers in sleep laboratories were trained to make a special left-right eye movement pattern once they realized they were dreaming. The body stayed asleep. The dream continued, but the eyes sent a signal from inside the dream to the outside world. Imagine the scene. A person is lying in a lab connected to sleep equipment. To everyone watching, the person is asleep, but somewhere inside the dream, they notice the impossible. They remember the plan. Then, they move their dream eyes in a pattern, and the real sleeping eyes follow. For a moment, a private dream leaves a trace in the waking world. That is why lucid dreaming is so important to the science of consciousness. It shows that awareness may not be a simple light switch. It can return in pieces. The body can be asleep, the dream can be running, and yet a part of the mind can recognize the dream as a dream. Some brain studies suggest that lucid dreaming may involve stronger activity or communication in areas linked with self-reflection, working memory, and cognitive control, including frontal regions that are usually less dominant in ordinary dreaming. But there is no neat button in the brain marked lucid dream. It is more likely a temporary balance. Enough dreaming to build the world, enough awareness to question it, and enough sleep stability to keep the scene from collapsing. So can someone make it happen on purpose? Sometimes, maybe. People have tried many methods, but most aim at the same target: teach the mind to question reality before it falls asleep. One method is reality testing. During the day, you ask yourself, seriously, am I dreaming? Not as a joke. You look at your hands, you check text, you check a clock. You notice whether the world stays stable. The idea is that this habit may eventually appear inside a dream. Another method is keeping a dream journal. This is not magic. It trains memory. If you never remember your dreams, it is harder to notice patterns inside them. But if you write them down, you may begin to find recurring signs. The same strange house, the same impossible road, the same feeling of being late, lost, watched, or chased. Those signs can become alarms. Then there is mild, the mnemonic induction of lucid dreams. Before sleep or after waking from a dream, you rehearse the intention. Next time I am dreaming, I will remember that I am dreaming. The point is not to force the dream, it is to plant a memory task inside the sleeping mind. Some studies have found that techniques such as mild, SILD, and combinations involving waking up briefly before returning to sleep can increase the chance of lucid dreaming for some people. But no method works like a button. Some people become lucid easily. Some try for weeks and get nothing. Some have one accidental lucid dream and spend years trying to repeat it. The dream does not always open the door when you knock. There is another reason to be careful. Trying to control dreams can disturb sleep. This can happen if someone becomes obsessed with waking up at night, checking reality constantly, or chasing rare experiences instead of resting. Lucid dreaming has also been discussed alongside sleep paralysis, nightmares, and unusual experiences at the edge of sleep. That does not mean lucid dreaming automatically causes harm, but the borderlands of sleep can be intense. Sleep paralysis can happen when awareness returns, while the body is still in REM-like paralysis. That is not lucid dreaming, but both sit near the border, where waking and dreaming blur. So, this should not be treated like a toy with no limits. The safest approach is patience, good sleep, dream recall, gentle awareness, and knowing when to stop. But the deepest part of this phenomenon is not the fantasy of controlling a dream. It is the tiny fracture that appears before control begins. The instant when the mind catches itself creating a world. You are not flying yet. You are not changing the sky. You are not opening portals. You are simply standing there inside an impossible place, realizing that the impossible place is being made right now. That realization can make the dream sharper. Colors may seem brighter. The air may feel heavier. The silence may feel aware of you. Even a normal hallway can become unsettling, because now it is not just a hallway. It is a construction, a moving image produced by a sleeping brain that has suddenly noticed its own work. And this is where the subject becomes bigger than dreams, because the brain is always building. Even when you are awake, it filters the world, predicts what comes next, fills gaps, and decides which details matter. In waking life, that construction is stable enough to feel obvious. In dreams, it becomes unstable enough to reveal itself. A lucid dream is a crack in the construction. For a few seconds, or sometimes longer, the mind is both the stage and the witness, the builder and the visitor, the projector and the person staring at the screen. Tonight, if you dream, nothing special may happen. You may walk through impossible rooms and never question a single wall. You may speak to people who should not be there and accept every face. You may run, fall, fly, forget, and wake up with only fragments. But there is a small chance that one detail will fail. A clock will lie. A sentence will melt. Your hand will look wrong. The sky will flicker. And if in that impossible second you ask the right question, the dream may not end. It may look back,